When you come in for your shift, you'll need to go in through this door. To get into that door, you'll need the red key from the BEYER keyring. Once you get the door open, you'll need to come in to this side and flip this switch here. Once you do that, the door stays unlocked. So to recap, behind the front desk at BEYER, we have equipment checkout, check-in for patrons, we have laundry, we have our lost and found, and a whole bunch of different items located in the metal cabinets. In the metal cabinets, we have signs posted on the outside of them that say exactly what is located in each cabinet. This way you should know exactly what you're looking for and how to find it the quickest. Throughout your shift at BEYER, you might get asked a bunch of different questions. One of the most commonly asked questions is where specific rooms are, so it's important that you get a solid understanding of BEYER's layout. If you ever get asked a question and you're unsure of how to answer it, please remember that you can always reach out to your on-shift supervisor. They will be more than happy to help you figure out how to best answer the patron's question. Now let's go through a walkthrough of where all 3 locker rooms and the sports club storage room are.
As a BEYER attendant, it's also one of your responsibilities to unlock the pool when the lifeguards come in for their shift. So you're going to take the purple key, lock this door, walk on in, and this is the guard office. So once you get into the lifeguard office, you got to turn on the lights. So over here, you've got light switches. Normally we're going to avoid the bubbler, and then you're going to do red turn lights, south pool light, center pool light, and north pool light. This one doesn't open up, or doesn't light up, so just make sure it's on. So we're going to skip canopy, balcony, and bubbler. South pool light, center pool light, and north pool light. At the end of a lifeguard shift, they're going to call you down to come lock up the doors. All you're going to do is go to the locker room doors and make sure to lock them completely. Double check by tugging on the handle. This door over here should never be unlocked or opened unless you're told otherwise. When you're unlocking the BEYER North men's locker room, you got to make sure to turn this knob to the left, open the door, and as this knob is turned to the left, this needs to be in. Push this up, and that keeps the door unlocked. When you're locking this door, keep the knob pushed, put that down, make sure the knob turns back. So to recap, you're going to turn on all the lights, you're going to unlock all 3 locker rooms and lock them up at the end of the shift, and then make sure that the double glass doors are always locked and never opened unless you're told to do so.
Located on the far hallway at the bottom floor of BEYER, we have our actual physical classrooms. It is important that patrons still check in when they're going for classes, but if they are to forget their card, we let them in anyway. Just ask what class they're going to because it'll pop up on Fusion what room is reserved and how long it's for. So to recap, located on the bottom floor of BEYER, we have the pool entrances into the racquetball and the squash courts, and locker rooms and regular classrooms as well. One of the other main features that BEYER has are the intramural offices located on the top floor. In these offices, teams can go with any questions, comments, or concerns about their sport or about their schedule. Located in these offices are actually a pickup point for the intramural champion t-shirts. As you can see right behind me, here's an example of where you can send people to go. The main intramural events held in BEYER are volleyball and basketball. Also on the top floor of BEYER, we have our pool spectator seating. It's important that whenever you're up doing your rounds, you make sure that these doors are locked when there is not an event going on. When there is a pool event, whether it's for swim or intramurals, it is okay if these doors remain unlocked, but it is important that after the event is over, these doors are locked, and at the end of the night, you need to make sure that you are walking to check both of them. Here's the first one.
So over at BEYER, we have these emergency exits. Don't open these doors, otherwise the alarm is going to go off. You can open them if this gray box is switched over to the green, otherwise the alarm will go off if the door is opened and it's on the red light.
The loading dock doors in BEYER are located just past the laundry room. The red cart down there is where the laundry room is located, so as you can tell, it's just a short walk past. These doors often get set off, which by that it means somebody opens it up while this is set to red. In order to enter and exit through these doors, it needs to be switched over to green. To switch it over to green, you'll need to set a BEYER keys. Once you have the keys, you'll take the green one, insert it in, and flip to the right. Once it's on green, you're able to open up the door. You'll just need to make sure that these doors are closed and this is switched to red at the end of the night. Inside of BEYER, we have 4 different racquetball courts and 1 squash court. Up on the top floor of BEYER, you can actually walk through and view all the different courts. To access each court, you have to go downstairs on our bottom floor and enter through the little doors down there. Each court has its own individual light, and you can turn that on right above the door. The ISU Gymnastics office is also located on the top floor of BEYER. This is the ISU Gymnastics practice facility. In this facility, we sometimes hold reservations and different events. Otherwise, if there is no reservation or event in here, you probably will never have a need to know where this room is, but you may need to guide somebody every now and then. Whenever you're going to do laundry in BEYER, you'll need to grab the laundry key that's hanging on the black bulletin board behind the desk of BEYER. Once you have the key, you'll just need to grab your basket that's filled with dirty clothes. And then you'll come over to this door over here, and you'll use the key to unlock it. But it magically opened today. Then you'll... Once you're inside of the BEYER laundry room, you'll find the washer located directly in between 2 large dryers and 2 small dryers. So once you have your basket of dirty clothes down here with you, you do have the option to put on these gloves. These gloves just help you from touching other dirty items, so it's important. I always put them on, but you are not required to by any means. Once you have them on, just grab your dirty towels and put them in. Then just make sure you shut the door and you turn the handle up. That ensures that the washer is locked. And then set on towels, you're good to go. Once the clothes are done in the washer, you'll need to move them over to the big dryers. So, you'll open this up and you'll take out the towels. It's important that you know towels go in the big ones and polos go in the small ones. So you'll take the wet clothes and throw them in there and shut the door. This will pop, when this screen pops up, you know that it's ready to go. So you'll hit enter and then make sure it's on towels again and hit start, and it'll begin on its own. One of the other duties of the BEYER attendant is to make sure that we have ice. We get ice from our athletic training clinic. To get into this room, you'll need the green key. Once in the room, you'll need to come over to this machine here. You should always be carrying around the ice chest with you so you won't need to carry anything back and forth multiple times. So you open it up and take the scoop and scoop ice out. And then just make sure this shuts before you leave. And this is put back up on top. Located just past the athletic training clinic, we have the athletic swim team and the weight club room. Both of these you have to have a code to get into, so if somebody comes up to the front desk asking to be let in, you cannot let them in. If they are a member or aren't allowed into the room, they should have the code or have contact with somebody who knows the code. So as a reminder, don't unlock these rooms for anyone. The gym in BEYER is mainly used for first come, first serve play, but we do get plenty of reservations from various groups on and off campus. Room 3430 is our most tucked away reservation only room. You have to walk all the way up the stairs at the end of this hallway, and once you get to the top, it's the only room up there, so you can't miss it. It's important that when you go unlock this room, that you are the one with the key. You don't hand it off to the patron. The next room that we have is room 2420. This one is generally only used for fitness classes, but personal training does use it every now and then as well. To get access to the volleyball nets, you'll need to get into this closet. Use this green key on the key ring to unlock the door. When you go inside, here are all the switches for the hoops. They're labeled accordingly. You'll want to turn all of them up if you want the hoops to go up and down to go down. Over here are the volleyball nets and the mats that go along with on the poles. To pull these out, they're on a roller, so you'll just roll it out of the closet. The net's set up exactly like the lead volleyball nets, so if you want to see how that's done, go ahead and look at the lead setup video. So to recap, located on the top floor of BEYER, we have the gymnasium, the gymnastics practice facility, and intramural offices.
Now, one of the more exciting intramurals that the BEYER gym hosts is blacklight dodgeball. If this happens to be during your shift, make sure that you grab the blacklight balls, which are behind the desk where you'll be sitting, as well as at the end of the event, make sure that the lights for the blacklights are turned off because it does become quite an expense. It looks like we're about to have an event just start now. Let's play some blacklight dodgeball.
And this was Crash Course BEYER. If you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to reach out to your on-shift supervisor or one of the head supervisors.